Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Eric. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excited to learn more about how you've been leveraging Vanta. Let me stop my share here and just dive right in. So first things first, we always like to ask folks to tell us a little bit more about your company. So tell us, what does Signeasy do?
Oh, Signeasy is one of the leading e-signature companies in the contract workflow solution space. And like the word suggests, it's easy to use, easy to e-sign any of your documents. So it actually helps businesses to sign, send, and store their different digital documentations across different devices. Now, we are operating in 180 countries, and around 48,000 businesses are using our product and services. So we also have powerful integrations with different setups. We have it Google Workspace, we have it Salesforce, we have it Microsoft Teams, and more. So so we're doing a lot of good stuff in that e-signature space.
Wow, very cool. Where's the company based?
It's actually based in Dallas. The main office, head office is there, but our operations are done from the Bangalore office in India.
Wow, cool. And how big is the company? How many employees?
We're around 90 employees at the moment. We've actually doubled in the size since last year, given the way e-signature is very popular in this space at this moment, given all the pandemic and things like that happened. So everyone's using e-signature and it's helped us grow. So yeah, we've doubled in size and we're around 90 odd number of employees.
Amazing. It's a fun ratio, 90 employees to 40,000 businesses using your software. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I mean, the way we use technology is amazing, and it's actually helped us immensely.
Yeah. So 90 employees. How big is the security and compliance team?
Actually, it's just me in this team, and actually, I helped set up the team over here, the entire function, the compliance function. We were actually outsourcing this entire function to a Big Four previously, and after a few iterations, my company realized we need to get someone internal to run the show. And they hired me hoping that I would build the team. But the way Vanta has helped us, I have not yet had the need to expand my team that much. I've been immensely helped by Vanta in getting the work done. So at the moment, it's just me and different team members from engineering and product actually wear different hats, and they actually help me in staying compliant. So yeah, just me.
Amazing. That's certainly a common value prop that we hear from folks, is kind of getting more from the resources that you have, and oftentimes allowing companies to kind of scale or accelerate growth without needing to explicitly hire more bodies. I'm curious, maybe just tell us real quick here, why did you all sign up for Vanta in the first place?
So we were dealing with a Big Four previous to using Vanta, and because I have a Big Four background, I come from Big Four, I understand how the Big Fours actually work. And sometimes it is not for everyone. Everyone has a different way of doing things. For a fast-paced business like Vanta, we needed something that would cater to our needs, little more, it gives us a little more control over how we do things. And hence, when we were exploring new things and our CEO actually spoke to your CEO, we understood there is a platform like Vanta out there, which actually could help us in staying compliant, given the size of a company. And that is when, we explored it further. We had lots of chats with your team, and we realized it is exactly what we need at this moment. To be honest with you, it was my first time using Vanta. Given my experience doing software in my past, we have not used something like Vanta previously. We have using the regular way of doing audits, getting samples and evidences from our customers and then our clients, and then doing the testing. Vanta was different. It actually made me realize how I can stay organized, how I can, keep a track of things, so all the good stuff started coming out, and it gave us back some of the control that we were not having previously. So Vanta let us run the show. At the same time, it really assisted us in staying organized, giving us the right kind of intimation, timely notifications about things not going correctly or the way it should be. And yeah, it just sounded so good that, we really wanted to explore that option, and we did. And yes, it's been a journey, and we've been happy ever since.
Amazing. You mentioned that you've been able to leverage Vanta to help you and kind of the business, it sounds like, stay organized and have better control over your compliance program. You're a team of one. Inevitably, you're kind of relying on the help of different colleagues to kind of keep your ducks in a row. Like, how are specific ways in which you how are there specific ways that Vanta has helped you kind of like you and your team, I guess, stay better organized or better on top of the requirements?
So for me, I have been able to organize my evidence in the right places, so we know there are specific documentation requests quarterly, monthly, yearly, weekly, or daily. So we can basically organize ourselves that way. So, the trigger comes from Vanta, say, okay, it's been a quarter since you submitted this document, so please submit it. So I don't have to keep an Excel sheet anymore. I just know Vanta going to send me notifications saying that it's due now. So that way I'm really organized. I know what's been submitted in the past. So I know what I need to submit or improve on those evidences moving forward. So it really helps me, keep on top of things. And now this new feature about Vanta, which was introduced a few weeks ago or months ago, I'm not too sure. It talks about delegating the test to certain, owners, business owners. We actually do that. And I know the notifications go to these respective people and they know that they need to do something to actually, make a timely submission. They know what is in their kitty and, manage their work accordingly. So it helps everyone, everyone understands there's a notification coming every day. So you need to be, submitting something on time. So the way Vanta works, it actually worked for us brilliantly. And we couldn't have been happier, to be honest.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that. In many instances, companies of Signeasy's size will adopt a tool like Vanta to help accelerate the growth of their business. And what that inevitably translates to for someone in your position is that we not only help you kind of address a business need, but we then make it kind of, we make attaining kind of other kind of compliance frameworks that much easier. You mentioned that you leverage Vanta for SOC 2. Like, were there any other frameworks that you've used the tool for?
So because we are in this very secure industry, we are, retaining a lot of user data. We need to be compliant. We were always compliant with a lot of things, a lot of security requirements, but we didn't have the validation that we needed, an external validation, and we needed to bring in auditors to look at us from a SOC 2 perspective. So that is the first thing that we actually went for from an external independent auditor's perspective. We started with SOC 2. We managed to get our type 1 in a few months. And after that, we got a type 2 also. Alongside with that, we got the HIPAA as well. So right now we have our auditors giving us, an independent review of SOC 2 and HIPAA as well. So those are the two things that we actually use Vanta for at the moment.
Interesting. Nice. I love to hear that. Yeah, it's exciting. We just rolled out support for 10 additional frameworks. HIPAA being one that we've kind of had in the books for years now, but it's been really fun and exciting to hear similar stories of folks that are kind of starting with one and then kind of going about and collecting as many of these kind of compliance patches as they can. I'm curious, something that I like to ask everyone that I get to talk to is, what should Vanta build next? You had previous experience with SOC 2, kind of you got to experience the before and after Vanta State, have kind of been able to leverage the tool for quite some time. No wrong answers here. Everything's on the table. What should we build next?
I think that there's so much of different regulations that are coming in, right? So I know you guys have expanded from how things have been in the past and how things are right now. And, you've taken feedback brilliantly and built on those aspects. I think what we need is, a little simplified version. Sometimes I think you guys have simplified things a little more every single day. But sometimes things look a little more complicated sometimes, from regulation perspective. Simplifying that will be fantastic. And I'm saying this from experience. Things have simplified a lot since the past when I started. And I think it's just growing in that area. You constantly ask for feedback. We provide the feedback and make, you guys just work on making things better. I think what we need right now is further able to, showcase to the user how these tests are really, how the evidence is actually used in different tests. So if that can be showcased in one area for that particular user, I think then they will appreciate the kind of work that they're putting in, to stay compliant. So a little dashboard for each of the users to say how they are actually doing with their tests that have been allocated to them. I think an individual dashboard would be fantastic. I think that is something that I would love, because that would actually showcase the kind of effort that they are putting and how it's actually really reaping the benefits, through staying compliant. So now that we have learned to delegate these tests to different users, if you have an individual dashboard for these users for their tests, I think that would be fantastic. And I think from a compliance person, we could know which user needs to do something differently and who needs to catch up, who's doing fantastically. And, it's fantastic and powerful for everyone, I think. That's my
awesome. That's a great idea. Playing that back, that's in the cards for what it's worth. We are building that. But yeah, I love that. Like if you're able to, as you said, kind of assign owners for tests or controls, there's kind of a master admin view, but there's something to be said about allowing the individual control owners to come in and kind of see the work they've done, the progress they've made. To a certain degree, there's an opportunity to like literally translate kind of the impact on the business of their work. So yeah, that's a great idea. I appreciate you sharing that.
No worries. Thank you for asking. I just happened to be thinking about it, and you just asked like, oh, that's a great thing to talk about. So yeah, thank you for asking.
Awesome. Well, Bineeta, it's been a pleasure chatting. Any final words before we hop?
No, I would just say that I had a fantastic time using Vanta. I mean, I'm really in awe of the work and the service that you guys give. I'm happy with the customer support that I have received. The way you guys take in feedback and really take care of your customers is very inspiring for all of us. And it really aligns with what we do at Signeasy. So this partnership has actually worked for us brilliantly. And we couldn't thank you enough for taking in all the feedback and helping us grow alongside with your business. So thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being a Vanta customer, and thank you for joining me today. I, as always, learned something new, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bineeta. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.